When it comes to the movie business, people often say numbers talk. It's not really about what you think about the movie, it's what did the numbers say. When I watched Fast and Furious, Fast X, I sort of understood, being a fan for a long time, why we keep watching, why we are always engaged, and why we're always interested in this movie.
Family.
Family.
Family. Family.
Family.
Family. Family. Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family. Family.
But as I was watching it, I was questioning myself, what am I watching? Watching the Fast and Furious, for me, the past 6 installments almost feels as if you're just watching one movie in continuation. Ever since Paul Walker's death, I feel like it's just been the same movie, but a different cut of it. It's never really felt different. It's never really, if you remember how it was watching the first Fast and Furious that you watched, the first that I watched was Too Fast, Too Furious. Then I watched the Fast and Furious, which were 2 different movies, right? Which had a 2 different feel. And then when Tokyo Drift came out, it had a whole different vibe to it. And then when Fast 4 and, the rest is history. From 4 until now, it feels as if you've just been watching the continuation of the same movie, which is highlighted for me by the lack of depth of the characters. When I stepped into Fast and Furious 6, the Fast X, when I was watching it and how they were introducing characters, how they took us back to the Brazil, Fast and Furious, when they stole the safe, and how that whole storyline played out. I mean, it's a cute thing that they did, and how they connected this movie to that period. And you sometimes you wonder, like, were they thinking about this, or is this something that they're like, oh, okay, how do we introduce this Jason Momoa character? As if you were watching it back then, you didn't pay attention and realize, no, we didn't see Jason Momoa in that one. And I'm pretty sure if you go and watch it, you're probably not going to see him. I'm pretty sure if you go back and watch it, you're not going to see Ames as well. But anyway, this is movie world. And then fast forward to this one, what I feel in this one that's very different is it gives you a different flavor of a villain in the Fast saga. But one of my problems with them is how each series or the next series, the villain becomes part of the heroes. You're like, okay, wait, who's actually the villain and who is the hero? Watching Charlize Theron's character coming back playing a hero, and then you watch John Cena, he's now a hero. Jason Statham is a hero. All these people, you're like, wait a minute, what are we doing? But what the story and what I think keeps people watching is, in the beginning, we watched the Fast and Furious. I'll speak for myself. It was for those car races, right? When you're watching the Nissan Skyline racing with these other cars, and you're seeing the NOS system. I think that's what brought a lot of us, was the pool. And then they centered around this idea of family. But I never really thought about it as such, because if you watch Too Fast, Too Furious with Paul Walker and Tyrese, there wasn't much about family in that. And I think for me, that was actually the best of them. And then when we fast forward to now, whereby car racing happens here and there, it's just there to move the story forward, but it's not the central theme of the movie. It's now become this whole big Hollywood gigantic thing, which I don't think they all anticipated. But if something keeps making you $1 billion, then you might as well invest into it. This Fast X, the one thing that I would say worked for it is Jason Momoa's acting. It's not something that you associate with him. It's not something that if you were to say to me, hey, this is a Jason Momoa movie, can you believe it's him? Compared to if you remember watching him in Aquaman, if you remember watching him in, being the leader of in Game of Thrones, those type of characters that he's become synonymous with, compared to what he did in this, from a performance wise, you're like, wow, amazing. And then the storyline, great. My only qualm with this movie is, one, John Cena's death. You're like, come on, man. Like, come on. We can do so much better. And also, because it just felt like it wasn't necessary. He didn't necessarily have to die. And the sequence just didn't make any sense for me. And then you vis-a-vis that with the end, the final scene where lady comes out of, they're walking on this thing, and then the submarine pops up, and then all of a sudden Gal Gadot's character is back, which we know she died. I think it was 5 or 6 where she died jumping from the plane in Han's hands, and all of a sudden she's alive. Like, how? And then you know that in the next one we're gonna get another bullshit story, and we're gonna suck it up and watch it and generate more billions for them. Because we just suckers. And I feel like what Vin Diesel and crew are doing is just proof of how much you can milk out of a good thing. If this thing, I'm told, is going up to 12 or up to 18, if they keep pushing and they just keep milking, it's working, and we are feeling the cinemas to go watch. My overall take is it's such an interesting movie. For me, it just felt like a continuation from, I don't even know what the past one was, what, the Fast and Furious. At least this time we didn't have to go to space. We didn't have to do all that weird stuff, It just stuck to the basics, and that for me is something of a nostalgic feeling that has been missing from a lot of these Fast and Furiouses. But you also get that weird Marvel's super mega movie when you're looking at, there's this place where these people are being held, and then you have this character. You have Tess, being played by Brie Larson. Brie Larson is quite a fascinating individual for me, where I don't understand how she acts. Like, she never shows emotion. It's like you're being short, like, I don't know, wince or something. Like, I don't really understand how this Hollywood thing works. Like, how do you guys choose actors and actresses, stuff like that? Like, her character made no sense to me, but not necessarily it made no sense, but just the delivery was not there. It's like the lack of emotion, or when she's being carried and being put in the hospital, you're like, oh, okay, you might show some pain on your face or some stuff like that. But hey, did you watch Fast and Furious X? Fast X, did you like it? What was memorable for you from it? I enjoyed it. I mean, you can't complain. Peace.
Family.
Family.
Family. Family.
Family.
Family. Family. Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family. Family.